The brand new top tier deck, and I do not say that lightly. This will definitely be the new top tier 1-card combos. Let's get to it.
Presenting Branded Despia. The deck aims to fusion summon powerful fusion monsters using the Branded engine with Branded Fusion as the core card. Prior to Power of the Elements, Branded Despia was the top performing decks in both OCG and TCG. Now with the release of it in Master, it's become the meta-defining deck, standing at a Tier 1 status and refusing to move for Sword Soul, Runic, or any other deck. You play one of Despian Comedy, who, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a face-up Despia card you control, you can quick effect discard this card to negate the effect. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can tribute one fusion monster, special summon this card. You can only use one. Keep in mind that you can only use one effect per turn and only once that per turn. Despian Strategy. Our main fusion target to send with a Branded Fusion. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished by card effect, you can add one Despia monster from your deck to the hand, except Despian Strategy. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target one branded spell trap in your graveyard, set it to your field. You can only use one Despian Strategy effect that per turn, and only once that turn. Egypt Chain is an engine piece, and we'll talk about that later. Fallen of Albaz. The main core of this engine, of this deck. If this is normal special summoned, you can discard one card, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters on either field as fusion material, including this card, but you cannot use other monsters you control as fusion material. You can only use this effect of Fallen of Albaz once per turn. Very strong board breaking potential. Aluba, the Jester of Despia. If this is normal special summon, you can add one branded spell trap from your deck to the hand. If a face-up fusion monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one ineffective monster your opponent controls, special summon this card, and if you do, negate the targeted monster's effect until the end of the turn. You can only use one Aluba the Jesters of Despia effect and only once per turn. Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use special summon Ecclesia once per turn this way. During the main, you can only use each of these following effects once per turn. During the main phase, quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon one Fallen of Albaz from your hand or deck. During the end phase, if a fusion monster was sent to the graveyard this turn, you can add this card from your graveyard to the hand. This will summon Fallen of Albaz from deck to break boards. Dramaturge of Despia. If Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster is special summoned, except during the damage step, you can target one effect monster on the field, negate its effect until the end of the turn. If this card is in the hand or field, is used for a fusion material, you can sent to the graveyard or banished, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effective Dramaturge of Despia once per turn. Ablithium of Despia. During your main phase, you can make all monsters currently on the field gain an attack equal to their own level times 100 until the end of your opponent's turn. If this card is in your hand or field, is used as fusion material and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can target one of your Despia monsters or a level 8 or higher fusion monster that is banished or in your graveyard, except Adlithium of Despia, special summon it. You can use each effective Adlithium once per turn. We're playing 2 Polymerization, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Golden Sarcophagus, 3 Allure of Darkness, which has synergy with Strategy, Frightful Patchwork, which is an engine piece, and Branded Fusion, the core card of this deck. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as a material from your extra deck, using 2 monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion material. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters the turn you activate this card. You can only activate 1 branded fusion per turn. If this card's got Ash, you can activate another one after it. Super Polymerization. Discard 1 card, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from either field as fusion material. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Very good breaking boards. Cosmic Cyclone for all of the runic guys running around. 2 Call of the Grave for hand traps to increase the consistency of our engine. and Resilience. Forbidden Droplet for more breaking boards and target and negation. Branded Opening. Discard one card and take one Despia monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it in defense position. Also, after for the rest of the turn, after you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters. If a fusion monster you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can bench this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use each effect of Branded Opening once per turn. Branded in Red. A target for Albion. Target one Despia monster or Fallen Hours in your graveyard, add to the hand, then you can apply the following effect. Fusion summon one level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials mentioned on from your hand or field, but it cannot attack directly this turn. You can only activate one Branded in Red per turn. Branded Banishment. Target one Despia monster or one level 8 or higher fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Then you can apply this effect. Fusion summon one level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion material listed on it from either field. You can only activate one Branded Banishment per turn. For fusion monsters, we're playing 14 and one Link monster. We're playing Starving Bunny, Fusion Dragon for Super Poly. We're playing Dragon Speller for Super Poly, and we're able to fusion summon it. We're using Polymerization. Albion the Branded Dragon. If this is fusion summoned, you can fusion summon one level 8 or lower fusion monster from the extra deck, except Albion the Branded Dragon, by banishing fusion materials mentioned from your hand, field, and or graveyard. During the end phase, if this card was sent there because this is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add to your hand or set one Branded Spell or Trap directly from your deck. This is usually going to be setting Branded or Red, Branded Banishment, or Branded Opening. Despia Inquisitress. One Despia monster plus one light or dark monster. During the main phase quick effect, you can change the attack of all monsters currently on the field to 0 until the end of the turn, except level 8 or higher fusion monsters. Very powerful for OTKs. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can add to your hand or special summon one Fallen of Albaz or one Despia monster from your deck. You can only use each effect of Despia Inquisitress once per turn. Masquerade. One Despia monster plus one light or dark monster. While you control this fusion summon card, your opponent must pay 600 life points to activate card's effect. If your opponent controls a Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster while this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use you can only use this effect of Masquerade the Blazing Dragon once per turn. Mirror Jade. Ideal end boss. Full of Outburst plus one Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Link, or Link monster. You only control one Mirror Jade. Quick effect, you can send one fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard that mentions Fallen of Abyss and is pure, full cost. Banish one monster on the field. Also, this effect cannot be used until the next turn. If this fusion summon card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls during the end phase of this turn. Rebellion. One dark monster plus one Fallen of Alpaz. If this card is fusion summoned, discard one card. Fusion summon one level 8 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck except Rebellion the Searing Dragon by shuffling fusion materials mentioned on it into the deck from your monsters on your field, graveyard, and or face-up banished cards. For the rest of this turn, this card cannot attack. Also, the monster. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra except fusion monsters. You can only use this effect of Rebellion the Searing Dragon once per turn. Guardian Chimera. 3 monsters with different names. Must be fusion summoned using only fusion materials from their hand and field, with at least one from each. If this card is fusion summoned by a spell or card or effect, you can draw cards equal up to the number of cards used from their hand as material from the hand, and if you do, destroy cards your opponent controls equal to the number of cards used as material from the field. You only use this effect of Guardian Chimera once per turn. While Polymerization is in your graveyard, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Despian Peruskin. 1 Despia monster plus 1 light monster plus 1 dark monster. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 fusion, synchro, Xyz, link, or link monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, or special summon it to your field. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack or defense, whichever is higher. You can only use this each effective Despian Proskin once per turn. Add Verte. Verte can send Branded Fusion, which can fuse with the on-field Verte and the Fallen of Albaz to make a Mirror Jade, as a last resort. The most popular engine by far is the Patchwork engine. The engine increases the consistency and ceiling of the deck. Edge and Chain, when sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, adds Fried Fur Patchwork from deck to hand. Fried Fur Patchwork adds Polymerization and Edge Obtain for extension. The less popular engine is the Adventure engine, a consistent and simple engine that protects your main branded line from hand traps. It also allows for easy going second plays with its board breaking potential with Draco back and Griffin. It's the one drawback with playing it is rights restriction, making normal summon Aluba not an option. And with the heavy restriction of the Adventure engine in Master Duel, it is not a popular option. More than 20 rogue and meta decks have split the branded engine to increase their ceiling. Examples include Shadol, Blue Eyes, Buster Blader, Thunder Dragon, Predator Plant, Dragon Maid, Eldritch, and many more. These decks are consistently reaching diamond or topping events. These are our bread and butter combos. This is what Aluba plus 1 discard accomplishes. This is what Branded Fusion plus 1 discard accomplishes. This is what Branded Opening plus 2 discards get you. This is what Branded Fusion plus Edgem Chain accomplishes. Option 1. This is what Branded Fusion plus Edgem Chain accomplishes. Option 2. Now let's have a look at the doors.
to like and subscribe for more.